Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another unit review. I just finished recording one not too long ago. Squalls. Well, today, if you hear that music, well, it's time that we actually up the music a little bit and talk about Ramza. Yes, Ramza. The first bard to actually get a 7-star. Well, is he any good? This is a tough one to talk about because there are definitely some big improvements to Ramza, but let's face it, CG Nicole came into existence not too long ago, and CG Nicole completely took the bards out of the picture by a great deal. For one thing, he could give a massive stat bonus to every other unit and not lock himself down every turn, so he could still do other things. So we were hoping that Ramza would actually end up getting a big improvement to his 7-star, and that is simply just really not the case. So let's talk about what he does get. Now, my Ramza is not particularly well equipped, nor is he, well, he's just really not that well equipped for this. I don't have his Trust Mastery yet, so if you're wondering a little bit about what his stats are reflecting right now, well, they're not reflecting the best I can do, but at the same time, I'm not sure I want to pour a ton of resources into him. For one thing, Ramza gets no new spells, and his Trust Mastery ability is a little bit questionable. It basically, by equipping his Trust Mastery, gives extra 15% to Defense, Spirit, HP, and MP. It's certainly not bad, but it's not quite as good as a lot of other units' MP or Trust Mastery unlock abilities, like for instance Renoa, who gives herself 60% to magic, which actually makes sense. And this does make Ramza a little more tanky, but since Ramza's stats were never the most high, this doesn't seem that useful. He also gives himself a couple of new break abilities at 12 MP each, one that gives a minus 60% debuff to Spirit, and one that gives a minus 60% defense debuff for each 4 or 5 turns. Now these aren't new abilities, there are other units that already have these abilities, so honestly, nothing really that special yet. He also gains a 600% 6-hit physical attack. This is the weirdest part. This gives him a chaining ability. Since Ramza, if you are going to use him, most of the time is strictly just singing, and it's not like this is really going to make that big of a difference in Ramza being a huge damage dealer. This is a really hard ability to recommend you actually using. 600%, it doesn't give an actual ignore 50% to defense either, so it just seems bad. It doesn't fit with Ramza's kit. He's never been a damage dealer, and now he's even like this just doesn't work, in my opinion. One of his more interesting abilities that actually does kind of work for him, though, is his dual cast ability for breaks, meaning that he can actually cast 2 of his breaks, so minus 60%. He could do a Spirit and defense, he could do attack and magic, or he could do any combination of the 4. Now, that actually is important, as debuffing an enemy can be really important nowadays. Important. But with that being said, honestly, I was really hoping for something that would increase his singing abilities, and that is not what this is. His 2-turn cooldown ability, which is available on turn 1, gives a 3-turn 2000 HP barrier. Now this is an actual new feature to the game. We have not seen HP barriers, and 2 turns basically means he can cast it multiple times, but at 84 MP it is incredibly expensive, especially if you consider, well, let's take a look at my Ramza right now. He's got 304 MP. You could get an extra 100 plus a couple of abilities to boost it, so maybe you'll be seeing around 500. And he gains 5% MP per turn, but it really doesn't seem to be that great. I mean, honestly, well, we'll talk about it a little bit more later when we actually get to Marie, but this is not a great ability. At level 115, he gains 20% MP, and his final ability is gain 50% attack and 15% HP and MP when equipped with a sword, and his limit burst fill rate goes up 50%. That's actually a little bit more of if they were going to build him. So right now, if we were to actually just go through and pick any sword, let's pick this one, it does make him a little bit better. And again, I really don't have him that well equipped. If you take a look at it, just some minor armor right now. I wasn't using him that seriously. And no materia. So you could build him better than I have for sure. 8,400 is a lot of HP without his actual trust mastery or focusing on HP materias. But the big question is, given these stats, are you actually going to use him for chaining? No, you're not. There are so many better options, especially lately when damage dealers have been getting dropped left, right, and center in both magic and physical. Squall, Orlandu, Sephiroth, Onion Knight, all of these units have 7 stars, and except for Sephiroth, for now. And there are even more crazy options as well. Like there's still Lyra. Even at her 6-star, she is dealing massive amounts of damage. So you are not going to be using this guy for extra damage, especially if he's singing. He's locked down. I'm not going to lie. I am frustrated with Ramza's kit quite a bit. But the one redeeming factor is, I think, his limit burst, where this is both a good thing and a bad thing. So it goes from essentially Scream to Shout at his 7-star. It is an AoE 3-turn plus 101 attack and magic bonus at its minimum and 130% at its maximum. And it only costs 18 limit burst crystals. Now I'm not going to lie, 130% to both attack and magic AoE for 3 turns is a very nice bonus. But I have a huge problem with the fact that this just falls incredibly short to CG Nickel, who is only a 6-star unit, and this is supposed to be a 7-star unit. This is supposed to be the new big thing. And Ramza does not get improvements really to either his singing ability, even though, well, keep in mind his singing ability does actually have a mod on it. So the higher spirit he has, the better it actually heals. But this just isn't enough. And it doesn't feel like enough. And honestly, it's quite disappointing for him. So with keeping these stats in mind, because this is a moderate build, let's actually demo him just a little bit and see if his abilities really end up getting just fight it. Just fight it. Okay. So again, just to demo it, because we want to actually show this stuff off, we can actually cast any of these multiple times, but these still need to be enhanced, which does suck quite a bit if you just don't want to throw the extra resources towards it. But we can choose any of them and just multicast them. Of course, the dummy can't be broken, but, well, it gives you an idea. I guess 35,000 is a lot of extra attack, but so here is his incredibly expensive HP barrier. Oh no, never mind, it's AoE. It does not say that on the actual Reddit page. How about that? That might be a mistake. But anyway, as you can see, all of our characters now have a blue bar, which is extra HP. This is a pretty nice little support ability, but again, if I remember correctly, there's another unit who has this that I think uses it to better effect. So let's check out his chaining ability, shall we? Single cast 136,000, dual cast it would be better, but Ramza, to make him more survivable, you'll probably want a shield on him. And if you want a shield on him and he's singing most of the time, then you're not going to be casting this. So again, I ask, what's the point? And last, to close it out, let's demo his actual song. So again, with this song, he's giving a boost to all of our units, which is very, very nice. Ramza already had a really nice boost song, boost for percentages and everything. But it really doesn't heal that much, and it really isn't affected, it seems, that much. This is not Runeera. Runeera heals much better, and there's still a chance Runeera 7-star will be a better bard. Hopefully a bard that doesn't lock her down so she can actually use her chaining abilities. Though honestly, given how Ramza's stats and 7-star treatment is, I'm not holding out too much for Runeera being great. Unfortunately, CG Nickel has come along and really just destroyed the bard category completely, and as such, you just aren't going to be using. If you have CG Nickel, there's no reason not to use CG Nickel, and God knows how good CG Nickel's 7-star will be. But that is a long way off. We don't even know how many 7-stars per month we're getting at this point. So anyway, that's the look at Ramza 7-star. Is it very good? I think absolutely not. I think there are better options out there for the bard, and I think what they've given to Ramza's kit is actually more confusing than any 7-star I've seen so far, especially because some of the 7-stars have just been incredible, phenomenal, or completely turning around for a unit. So, how would I rate Ramza? I would rate him as a big disappointment, unfortunately, but he does get some improvements. So take that for what it's worth, and I will see you for the next unit review. It's time that a certain elemental resistance mage, or green mage, in a green outfit with heart theme gets her time in the spotlight. Till then, I'll see you next time.